So this video is about segments in quadrilaterals. We're going to be walking through an example together. So it tells us LMNO is a rhombus, and it's asking us to find MP given that LN is 12 and LM is 16. So first, we're going to label kind of everything we know. So we know that all the sides of a rhombus are equal, so we know that all of the sides have to be 16. Then it tells us that LN, this segment right here, is 12, but we know that the diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other, so we know that these are both 6. Another thing we know about the diagonals of a rhombus is they are perpendicular to each other, which means they create a 90-degree angle. So inside of our rhombus, we actually have a right triangle that looks like this, 6, 16. And here's our 90-degree angle. And we're looking for MP, so I'm going to put an X right there. And in my right triangle, I'm going to put an X where MP is. And so now we can easily solve for that side by using Pythagorean theorem. So Pythagorean theorem says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And so a is our X, b is 6, and c is 16. So we can say x squared plus 6 squared equals 16 squared. And the first thing we want to do is we want to square all of those in our calculator. Oh, you can see from the trig one before. So we're going to take 16 squared, which is 256, and 6 squared, which is 36. So x squared plus 36 equals 256. Let's subtract 36 from both sides. This cancels out, so we're left with, we're going to take 256 minus 36, 220. So x equals 220, and to get rid of this square, we simply square root both sides. So we can say x is the square root of 20, or if you want a decimal, oops, that's not what I want. The square root of 220 equals 14.832. So that's one of our options right there. So this was a rhombus. The next example I want to look at for quadrilaterals is a rectangle. So SOQR is a rectangle, and it tells us if OT is 5x plus 2, and SR is 12x minus 12, find X and OQ. So what we notice is that OT is only half of our diagonal, but we know the diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other, which means they cut it in half. So if OT is 5x plus 2, TQ is also 5x plus 2. So the whole diagonal, OQ, is 10x plus 4. 5x plus 5x is 10x, 2 plus 2 is 4. So the whole diagonal is 10x plus 4. And SR, that's the whole diagonal, that is 12x plus 12. And we know the diagonals of a rectangle are equal to each other. So we're going to say 10x plus 4 is equal to 12x minus 12. So we're going to add 12 to both sides. 10x plus 16 equals 12x. Subtract 10x. 16 equals 2x, and now we can divide both sides by 2 to get x equals 8. So x equals 8, and then we're looking for OQ. And remember, to get OQ, we just doubled OT, and so we're going to plug 8 into there. So 10 times 8 plus 4. 10 times 8 is 80 plus 4. That is equal to 84. So let me rewrite this. OQ is equal to 84 and x is equal to x.